Set your sail for success with Jim Rohn.
Today's a special day for me. A lot of people have affected my life as I started out. You know, I lost my mother about 3 years ago, but what an impact she made on my life. The care that she gave me, I was an only child, so my parents spoiled me and got me off to an incredibly good start. My mother was a scholar, taught me well. I could read and write before I ever started school. And she carefully looked after my education, especially in those early years. And gosh, the effect of my mother has lasted all of these years for me, and part of what I'm going to share with you today, I can still feel the effect of my own mother. Then my father was a doer. In fact, he'll be 90 years old in April, and he still hasn't retired. He's still going strong. Each year I'm trying to get him to retire, saying, "Hey, Papa, age 89, you know, you've had enough years. Why don't you, just take it easy?" And he keeps saying, "Talk to me in 10 years." So I don't know when I'm going to get him to retire. And then a big dramatic meeting for me was when I was 25 years old. I had gotten married, living a fairly normal, average American life. And age 25, I was behind on my bills and my promises to my family and wondering where to go from there. And I had a chance to meet a very wealthy man. His name was Mr. Schoaf, Mr. Earl Schoaf. And my good fortune was he invited me to go to work for him. And I spent the next 5 years in his employ. And then, unfortunately, he died at age 49. But it was 5 of the most spectacular years of my life, as someone cared about me enough to take the time to teach me how to change, teach me how to grow. And that's where I first started hearing that language that I've become sort of famous for things to change, you've got to change. I started hearing that at age 25. And this man made such an incredible impact on my life, changed my income, changed my bank account, changed my future. Everything about me started in a real revolutionary way during that 5 years. And I wish that man was still alive today. I'd be giving him a lot of credit for me having arrived here to have a chance to spend this weekend with all of you. But then I had a chance 16 years ago when I did a seminar in Los Angeles, California. Sitting in my audience was young Mr. Mark Hughes. And what a meeting that was. I'd already heard about Mark. His reputation preceded him. He started studying nutrition because this was shortly after the death of his mother, and I couldn't believe how much he already knew about nutrition. His dedication was already evident. And then, of course, it wasn't long until after that he put this company together called Herbalife, and the rest is history. But Mark invited me to come in when the company was just a few months old and share some of my experience and ideas with those early distributors, Jerry Shatanovich and some of the others that were there when I first came in. And I couldn't believe how excited they were. The testimonies were already starting to be spectacular. And so I was congratulating Mark, saying, "Mark, you've really got something going here. No telling how far it's going to go. And if I would have known how far it was going to go, I'm sure I would have hung around. But I'm off lecturing around the world, so, I bid Mark Godspeed, and I'm off around the world." But I've kept in touch all these years, and I watched it get put together. I watched Mark as he attracted people to the cause and transferred his knowledge and his skills to them, and step by step started putting this company together. And then it started going from country to country. And then I get the famous telephone call 6.5 years ago when Mark said, "I'd love to have you come on board. Lend me some of your time and some of your talent, some of your experience, and help me to take my cause around the world. We've got an opportunity to dominate the industry. We've got an opportunity to touch the lives of millions of people." And he said, "I need some help. Would you join?" And I said, "Sure." And that was 6.5 years ago. And what Mark promised me back then has all come true. I've had a chance to talk to more people, I think affect more people's lives in the last 6.5 years being with all of you and being with Herbalife than anything else I could have possibly done. And I'm so glad Mark invited me 6.5 years ago to come on board, and I'm glad to be here today. But here's what's exciting for me now. We've got a chance to take what's been developed the last 13 years, starting with Mark's dedication, and then very quickly Mark knew that he could take the product to his grandmother, but he couldn't take it to all the grandmothers around the world unless he had some help. And when he started putting those early ads in the paper and started attracting people to help him with his dream, that was the beginning of all this that's here today. But now we've got a chance to take the last 13 years and invest them in the next 13 years, and the possibilities of that is absolutely awesome. And as I mentioned to the Tabulator team just a couple of days ago, we have a chance not only to be an influence individual by individual, family by family, organization by organization, group by group, but I promise you Herbalife is going to have a chance to be an influence in the community. We're going to have a chance to be an influence in the country, whatever country you represent here today. Herbalife's going to gather up some dedicated people that are going to reach out, not only touch people's health and touch people's financial future, but we're going to have a chance to do some marvelous things as we work together, develop our skills, language skills, organization skills, the ability to communicate skills. That's going to serve us so well, not just in the business that we're involved in, but our ability to affect people as our influence grows throughout the community, throughout the state, if you live in America, throughout the country. And then when we come back to celebrate, some people are going to bring back word of the honors that we've gotten and say, if you want something done in the community, call one of those Herbalife leaders. They know how to get people together. They know how to put the show on the road. They know how to influence other people. So the reputation of Herbalife started with Mark, I'm telling you, is going to start influencing more and more and more people, not just the people involved in our organization, but the people out there that we can reach and touch because of our example, because of the stature we're going to have in the community, because of the skills we develop, personality, and all the things that come from a session like this. And I can't wait to see the honors start to accumulate for a lot of you individually out there in the communities that you've come from. And when you bring us word of those honors that you've gotten because of your influence out there where you labor in your community, we're all going to rejoice. We're all going to be happy. And of course, the one that's going to be most excited of all is going to be Mark Hughes, knowing that his dedication caused this whole chain reaction of people to be involved in his cause. And I'm just delighted to be here. I wouldn't have missed this journey for anything in the world. And I'm anxious to watch what Mark's going to unfold. I've been around a long time out there in the marketplace, but I've never seen the likes of Mark Hughes. And I just love to be around him. I love to be close by. We have conferences often at his, mansion hilltop there in Beverly Hills, overlooking the rest of the world. And it's just amazing for me to see this young man work, to see his dedication, his ability to communicate. And I'm really dazzled by the people that he's attracted around him to make this dream come true. And so I'm here to go to work along with you, see how many people we can reach and touch in our lifetime, and then get together often and celebrate. And, the news media is going to come around and make notes, not just of what we've accomplished as far as business is concerned, but they're going to come around and watch how we celebrate. And we're going to have good cause to celebrate. And this is just another piece in putting together the global Herbalife effort, but it's also a piece in putting together your strategy for building your life, building your business, building your future, affecting your family, affecting your organization. And I'm glad I've been invited here today to give you a part of my experience. So let's go to work. Let's get started. First note, we get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Now, we not only need to learn this, we need to teach it to our children. They need to know that right away, here's how economics really works. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Now, it takes time. It takes time to bring value to the marketplace. However, we don't get paid for time. Someone mistakenly says, you know, I'm making $10 for an hour. Not true. If that was true, you could just stay home, right? Have them send you your money. So it's not true. We don't get paid for the time. We get paid for the value that we bring to the marketplace. Now, since that's true, here's one of the key questions of the day. Is it possible to become twice as valuable to the marketplace and make twice as much money in the same time? Answer, of course. Is it possible to become 3 times as valuable to the marketplace and make 3 times as much money in the same time? And the answer is, of course. Is it possible to become 5 times as valuable as you are right now and make 5 times as much money in the marketplace in the same time? Is that possible? Of course. Is it possible to become 10 times as valuable as you are right now to the marketplace and make 10 times as much money in the same time? Is that possible? Of course. That's how all of these incomes started to be generated. Some of them starting 13 years ago with Jerry, some 10, 11, 12 years ago, some not that long ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. These incomes of $1 million and more, I'm telling you, that's how those incomes got generated, is by people who, number one, understood the marketplace, that there was a need in the marketplace. Herbalife was the best answer to that need. And then they discovered that in order to take advantage of the opportunity, not only did Mark have to go to work on making Herbalife valuable, but these people had to go to work on making themselves valuable to the marketplace to make this kind of money. Now here's what's exciting. Anybody can do it. Anybody can start right where they are, climbing this ladder. In America, the ladder starts at about $5 an hour. And then this ladder starts up. Top income last year, $80 million. The guy who runs Coca-Cola. Now, that's a heck of a ladder, called the ladder of opportunity, starting at the bottom, climbing your way to the top. Now, why would the marketplace pay someone only $5 an hour? Answer, they're not very valuable to the marketplace. Now, might be a valuable human being, yes. Valuable member of the family, yes. Valuable member of society, yes. Valuable member of the church, yes. Valuable in the sight of God, yes. We're all of equal value in the sight of God. But to the marketplace, if you're not very valuable, you don't get much money. Now, however, where you start is not where you have to stay. You got to put that in your notes. Where you start is not where you have to stay. That's what this ladder of opportunity is for. That's why Herbalife's got this increasing discount schedule, starting at 25%. But 25% is where you start, but it's not where you have to stay. All you have to do is grow. Now, why would the marketplace pay someone $50 an hour? Evidently, the marketplace would pay someone $50 an hour because evidently they have become more valuable. Why would the marketplace pay someone $500 an hour? Evidently. You just got to take a look, because evidently if one person is being paid much more than another, evidently they must have become more valuable. In America last year, top income, 80 million. Why would a company pay one person $80 million for 1 year's work? Answer, evidently, right? Isn't that a good word? Evidently, this person must be very valuable. Now, taking advantage of this opportunity, whether it's the Herbalife ladder that starts at 25%, or whether it's pay in the marketplace, my teacher, when I was 25 years old, gave me the clue that totally changed my life, and I want to share that clue with you today. Here's what he said. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business. See if you can find some ways to multiply your value to the marketplace. And he said your income will immediately start to change. Up until then, I was hoping that the economy would change. I was hoping that my company would change. I was hoping that my paycheck would change. I was hoping that circumstances outside would change. And then here's what I found out. It isn't going to change. So then my question was, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? And here's what my teacher taught me. When you change, everything will change for you. When you get better, everything will get better for you. And that's where I picked up that phrase. For things to change, you've got to change. You don't have to change the marketplace. You don't have to change the marketing plan. You don't have to change the economy. You don't have to change countries. You don't have to change circumstances out there. All you've got to do is look within and see if you can change yourself for the better. And as you change, things will start to change for you. Now, let's talk about becoming valuable to the marketplace. Here's number one, bring value to the marketplace. Bring value to the marketplace. What's exciting about Herbalife is right away, as soon as you've heard a testimonial or as soon as you've got one, you can bring that testimonial to the marketplace. Long before you have the skills, you can bring the product. You can bring the story. And that's valuable to the marketplace. So right away, you've got something valuable as soon as you've heard the story and you believe it. And you make a telephone call and translate the story to someone else, you have immediately brought value to the marketplace. Now here's number two, be valuable to the marketplace. Make those telephone calls. Put on the button. Hand someone a brochure. Give someone a simple invitation to listen to your story. Be valuable. Number three is becoming valuable to the marketplace. Right away we can bring value. Right away we can be valuable by telling our story, handing someone a brochure, giving them an invitation. But here's where the big fortune lies, and that is becoming valuable to the marketplace. As the business grows, you grow. As the opportunity unfolds, you grow. You get stronger. You get better. And you get wiser. Now, how do we become valuable to the marketplace? Let me just go through a few things that can make a difference in you becoming valuable to the marketplace. And we don't need to talk about 1,000 things. My teacher gave me a simple little formula that I've used all these years. It's become so valuable for me. And here's what he said. There's usually about a half dozen things that makes 80% of the difference. There's usually about a half dozen things that makes 80% of the difference. Keep looking for the few things that makes the most difference. For your good health, there's not 1,000 things you have to do every day. It's called 2 shakes a day, a few tablets, 3 times a day? I mean, it can't be much simpler than that. 2, few, 3. It's about how simple this formula is. Not 1,000, not beyond your comprehension. Few simple things, a little bit of exercise, watch your diet, and that's it. A few simple things, and now good health belongs to you. So in your business, keep looking for the few things that'll make the most difference. Here's why a lot of people don't do well. They simply major in minor things. They spend too much time on the things that don't count, too little time on the things that would count. So here's what we teach, good for our children as well. Don't spend major time on minor things. We also teach don't spend major money on minor things. If those ratios are wrong right from the beginning, I'm telling you, it can be a disaster. In the last 10 years, if a man bought 2,000 donuts and 2 books, it would be easy to determine why his life is not working well. I'm all for both donuts and books, but 2,000 donuts to 2 books is a poor ratio. Almost anybody would conclude the guy's life is probably not working well because he spent too much money on donuts, not near enough money on books. Too much food for the body, not enough food for the mind. Okay, turning these ratios around, learning what few things are going to make the most difference. You don't have to get good at 1,000 things. Just get good at a few things, and your value will start to change to the marketplace, your value to your customer, your value to your distributor, your value to your organization, all of this refinement, a few things. Now, let's go through those few things that can make such an incredible difference in how your life works out, how your business unfolds. Number 1 is philosophy. We all must concentrate a great deal of our attention on our own philosophical conclusions, because this is what guides our life, our philosophy. The working of the mind, the ability to think and process ideas and information. This miracle process that human beings can engage in is simply incredible. The ability to use our mind to think, to process ideas and information that helps us to build a philosophy that guides our life. All kinds of philosophy. Political philosophy, of course, helps guide the nation. Economic philosophy determines whether or not you're going to be financially secure. A good health philosophy determines whether or not you're going to be healthy. A good working philosophy with your family determines whether or not that's going to work out well. Philosophy. Let me give you my definition of philosophy. Philosophy is the sum total of what we know, and number 2, the decisions we make. So first of all, we must gather knowledge. Second, we must sort it all out, decide what's valuable and what isn't valuable. And let that establish for us a philosophy to live by. You're going to have to go through the decision-making process and sort it all out. What you can use right away, what it's going to take a while for you to get involved in, sorting it out for you, how to make it fit for you, make it fit for your life, make it fit for your business. This process here is what establishes our philosophy. And this is what gives us guidance. We've got all kinds of wind that blows out here. But what this philosophy does is help us to set the sail. The winds of opportunity, the winds of circumstances, the political winds, the social winds, the winds are always blowing. But here's the best part of education that I know of. You cannot change the winds, but you can change the set of the sail. And that's why we've come here to study today, is to see if we can't refine our thinking and our philosophy to help set a proper sail, so that no matter what wind blows. And when somebody says to you, what if this happens and what if this happens? Doesn't matter. What a power to walk away here with. Doesn't matter how the wind blows. I've gotten some information to set a sail, establish my philosophy that's going to give me the guidance to building my business, building my organization, building my life, building my relationship with my family, building a good marriage, building all the values of my life. I've got the information. I've got the ideas. I've established my philosophy. My sail is set. Let the wind blow however it's going to blow. The political winds, the social winds, the winds of circumstance, the winds of reverses, the winds of the dark nights, the summer winds, the winter winds. I'm telling you, it's not going to matter. You're going to have an incredible sail set that'll take advantage of the winds so that you can go wherever you want to go. Now, where do we get ideas and information that can establish our philosophy? Number one, from personal experience. Learn from your own personal experience. That's why it's good to keep a journal. Keep some notes on your own personal experience, the things that happened to you, the questions you've had, and the answers you've found. Jot it all down. Don't trust your memory. Keep a journal. Things that have happened to you, questions that you've got, answers that you've found that help to guide your philosophy. Learning from personal experience. Now here's number two. I call it OPE, other people's experience. That's why I came by today. Share with you some of my personal experience. Now there's two kinds of people to learn from. Number one, failures. People who've messed it up. It's too bad failures don't give seminars. I'm telling you, it'd be valuable. If somebody's messed up their life for 40 years, you just got to say, John, would you spend a day with me? I'll bring my journal. Tell me how you messed it up and threw it all away. So learn from negative as well as positive. But here's number two, learn from success. Learn from the ones that have put it together. They've made the mistakes. They've corrected their errors. They've gotten their ego under control. They've learned how to work with people. They've learned how to build an organization. They've learned how to establish a customer base. They've learned how to develop distributor by distributor, city by city, country by country. What a wealth of knowledge concentrated in one place. Other people's experiences to establish our philosophy. Now here's number two. Not only are we affected by philosophy, we're affected by attitude. How we feel. So number one in these few things for personal development makes us better than we are, makes us stronger than we are, makes us wiser than we are, so that we bring more value to the marketplace, become more valuable to the marketplace. First is knowledge, awareness, ideas, understanding. But second is attitude, how we feel. And it's how we feel about a lot of things. Let me give you the short list. We don't have time today for the long list on attitude, but let me give you the short list. Number one, it's how you feel about the past. You've got to have a good, mature feeling about the past. And here's the best advice I can give you on that. Treat the past as a school. Let the past teach you. Don't let the past become a club. Beat yourself to death with the past. So you blew it. What else is new? So it fell apart on you. What else is new? So you messed it up. What else is new? So you fell out of the sky. What else is new? So you did it wrong. What else is new? So you've made a long list of mistakes. What else is new? I mean, we've all been through it. But here's what I want you to do. Let the past now teach you. Let it teach you. Don't carry it around like a burden. It's too heavy to carry. As the days unfold and the months unfold, if you keep carrying the past losses, past failures, past mistakes, I'm telling you, it's too heavy. Just let it become a schoolmaster. Let it teach you and learn from the past. Because here's what's valuable from the past. Experience. Experience. We've all heard the phrase, experience can be one of the best teachers. Now here's number 2. Your attitude about the future. How you feel about the future is going to be vitally important. That's why I love to get around Mark. His concept of the future is so clear to him. I'm telling you, some of the things for the future is a lot more clear to Mark than it is to me. And I've been around a long time. But I'm telling you, this young man from the tough side of town in Los Angeles, California, that established this mission for his life after the death of his mother, for some miraculous reason, things just settled in for Mark. He developed this single vision, and everything that he's done and everything he's read, all the people that he's gathered around him, is for this one single mission to affect people's lives with better health through these products and affect people's financial future. I've never seen anyone in my life so single-minded that could see so far into the future. It's absolutely amazing. And he does all of those incredible things for me, getting me to see. Now let me quote you from ancient script. Here's what it says. If you cannot see, you perish. You die. We've all got to have a future to work for. We've all got to have the ability to see something beyond ourselves, something beyond just today, something beyond just this week. The future. Setting your goals. And a lot of people have asked me tips on how do you set goals. Let me just give you a simple little formula on setting goals. Vision of the future. Being able to see beyond today. Here's a little formula for setting goals. Number 1, decide what you want. Get together with your wife and decide, what do we want? Get together with your husband and decide, what do we want? Get together with the family. Make some decisions. What do we want? Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? What do we want to have? What do we want to share? Then some of this has got to be personal. What do I want? What kind of skills do I want? What kind of income do I want? What kind of future do I see for myself? Not just for my family, but for me as well, because I'm going to have a major part in my family's future. What do I want? Get together and decide. Now here's number 2. Write it down. Put it on paper. Sometimes you got to take things out of your head, not just operate out of your head. You got to take it out of your head and make a list. Make a list. Do the decision-making process and then just simply make a list. Write it down. Now here's number 3. Keep the old lists. Keep the old list of goals. One of the greatest signs of personal development is looking back on those old lists of goals. I look back at a list of goals I made 10 years ago, and I'm telling you, some things on there I'm a little embarrassed. Here's 10 years ago, here's what I thought was so important. Now I'm telling you, it's not that important anymore. I've grown, I've changed, I've matured. And I've got some of my goal lists that go back 20 years, 25 years. Some of those I won't even show anybody. Here's what I thought was so valuable. Now I understand so much better as my priorities have changed. Some of the things that used to be on the top of my list right now, I've learned are not that important anymore. Other things have taken place on the top of the list. So, number 1, decide what you want. Number 2, write it down. Number 3, keep the old lists. And here's number 4, check off. When you do get something that's on your goal list, check it off. The first time I came to Spain many years ago, I happened to have my journal with me that had the list of goals in it. One of them was to someday go to Spain. And I had that journal with me, and when the wheels touched the runway in Madrid, I got out that list and I checked it off. Okay. So, first of all, attitude is how you feel about the past. It's how you feel about the future. And here's the third one. It's how you feel about everyone. You've got to have a good, mature attitude about everybody. Everyone in your family. Everyone in your organization. Everyone in the community. Everyone in the world. Everyone in your country. Got to have a good, healthy attitude about everybody. And here's why. You can't succeed by yourself. We all need each other to make our business successful. We need each other to make a successful life. You can't succeed all alone. One person doesn't make a company. One person doesn't make a corporation like Herbalife. One person doesn't make a country. One person doesn't make a symphony orchestra. One person doesn't make a community. One person doesn't make a powerful nation. Not one person alone. Doesn't make harmony. You can't have harmony with just one. Got to have more than one. So to have harmony and possibility and opportunity and future and the strength of the collective society, the collective organization, I'm telling you, it comes from all of us working together. So you've got to have a unique sense of appreciation of everyone. The last one. The first one. You've got to learn to appreciate the youngest one. You've got to learn to sense the value of the oldest one. And the one that gives you the most joy and the one that gives you the most trouble. You've just got to have a unique sense of appreciation that it takes all colors and all kinds and all sizes and people with different dreams at different places in their personal development. You've got to learn to embrace them all and appreciate them all because it takes them all. Here's a good phrase to jot down. It takes all of us to make each of us successful. So each of us must understand how valuable all of us are. Nobody in the rest of the 90s is going to be a match for all of us. All of our talents, all of our skills, all of our dedication, all blended together, various sizes, various ways and means. I'm telling you, the march is going to be on, the pace is going to be quickened. When we walk out of the 94 extravaganza, we will have an even bigger sense that nobody's going to be a match for all of us. We can go out there and deliver the products and deliver the goods and touch millions of people's lives, and I can't wait to be a part of it all. Now here's the next one that's vitally important. First, it's how you feel about the past. Second, how you feel about the future. Third, it's how you feel about everyone. And here's number 4. It's how you feel about yourself. I'm asking you to take today a renewed sense of self-confidence. Now, the first is simple. That you come to the logical conclusion that if Mark Hughes can do it, from where he started, 9th grade education, high school dropout, Mark never met his father until he was 20 years old. The judge decided who he was to live with when he was a little kid. His mother dies from a drug overdose when he's 18. He starts a little company, right, operating first of all from the trunk of his car, but step by step, from that small beginning, he conquered all of his challenges. It didn't matter the winds that blew. for Mark because he started setting a sail early in his life. It's guided him, and he's strengthened that sail up until now, serving as an example for all of us. And I'm telling you, Mark's central theme of his whole story is, if the kid from the tough side of town can do it, anybody can do it. With his background and the strikes against him, if he can overcome all of that and build a company second to none, if he can grow, you can grow. If he can get his arms around $1 billion enterprise, so can you. If Mark can make his fortune starting where he did, so can you. If he can change, you can change. If he can pick it up, you can pick it up. If he can turn around, you can turn around. If he can go on an accelerated personal development path, so can you. Pick all that up. Pick it up from the president's team. Pick it up from each other. Pick it up from the farm boy from Idaho raised in obscurity. Pick it up from all of these that have come to associate here together and walk away from here with a whole new sense of yourself and the gifts that you've got to bring to the marketplace. Do not deny yourself a chance to grow, a chance to change, a chance to become better than you are, bigger than you are, a bigger heart than you had before, more insight than you had, and give yourself the chance to grow. If anyone can do it, we all can do it. Attitude. So number one is philosophy. Number two is attitude. And here's number three, activity. Now the disciplines. We must now learn the skills. If you want to be able to get your arms around a big organization that produces $1, $2, $3 million a year income, you got to develop the skills. You've got to put yourself through the early disciplines. But now here's what's exciting about the disciplines. One of my key phrases for the whole day. Disciplines work miracles. Disciplines work miracles. And here's the first piece that works miracles. Number one, do what you can. Do not let neglect grab you by the throat. Don't let neglect stall you on your path toward prosperity and health, being able to become powerful, influential, rich beyond wildest imagination. Don't neglect what you can do. If you can read, read. If you can change, change. If you can grow, grow. If you can take one step, take one step. Do not neglect to do whatever you can do at the moment. Of course, you can't run a multi-billion-dollar business today. Mark couldn't either 10 years ago. Mark couldn't either 5 years ago. But I'm telling you, today he can do it because step by step, year by year, he took on what he could do. He didn't neglect it. He did the meetings he could do. He made the calls he could make. He read the books he could read. He took the classes he could take. And step by step, he got himself ready. I'm telling you, do not neglect to do whatever you can do because it'll work miracles. Of personal development first, productivity second. Now, do what you can. Here's number two, do the best you can. Hopefully you picked that up, especially from the president's team. That's how they got here, with diamonds in their pins. They not only did what they could, they did the best they could. And they've done the best they've been able to do, and I'm telling you, that's why Herbalife has got this incredible reputation. They've picked up Mark's challenge that said, let us grow, let us start with easy steps first, let's do what we can first. If it's a foggy night and you can only see 100 feet, how can you see another 100 feet? Answer, walk the first 100 feet. Walk as far as you can see, and then you can see some more. And walk as far as you can see, and then you can see some more. So what you picked up here, just do it as far as you can see it. And I promise you, if you'll execute as far as you can see it, you'll be able to see more. Do that, then you can see more. And finally, get in tune of doing the best you can. And you'll have the activity that'll develop the disciplines that will set this sail so that you can say, it doesn't matter how the wind blows. I'm prepared. The disciplines that work miracles, here's the real miracle that works so well in Herbalife. Investing life into life. One person's life invested in another. I'm telling you, you cannot have the potential for miracle with any simpler formula than that. Somebody who develops a testimonial and now invests that testimonial in someone else's attention, someone else's mind, gets them to think about it, gets them to respond to it. Now we've got the miracle called a new customer. Investing the opportunity, idea, in someone telling them the Herbalife opportunity, now we've got a new distributor. Disciplines create new life by investing one person's life into another person's life. That's why I came by today. Mark Hughes invited me to come along on this journey to let me do something so grand and so powerful I would not have missed this opportunity to invest a piece of my life into this many lives here today. I'm telling you, it's going to work miracles. And I'm asking you at home, because our whole life is not only concerned with our business and our customers and our distributors and our organization, all of the things that we're proud of, and the banners and the flags and all the rest of it. One of the most important is to become valuable by discipline to your family. No greater place can you invest life into life than to invest in your family. Don't give your distributors the best of your attention and your family the least of your attention. Don't be careful with your distributors and careless with your family. Be just as careful with the child as you are with the distributor, because sometimes we think about volume and we think about money and we think about income, so we're very careful. But sometimes the people around us who need this investment the most to create new life, sometimes we're a little careless about investing life into life when it seems like it's so close and it's so familiar. We don't take the time to study ways and means for the language and the skills to invest life into life concerning our family. Don't be short here. There's an insurance company in the United States that got a good phrase that they've coined to go along with their insurance company, and here's what it says: you're in good hands. What a reputation to build. Reputation of having good hands. And that's the reputation we want as Herbalife distributors wherever we find ourselves at the moment. Let us develop good hands to take these products to the marketplace, take these stories to the marketplace with hands that care, with hands that reach out and touch other people, with hands that are skillful, hands that are not belligerent, hands that show no malice, hands that are not a threat to anyone, caring hands. Let's develop good hands. Let's put ourselves through the disciplines. Let's give ourselves the guidance by what we learn, feeling good about it all. Then let's develop these disciplines so that we become better instruments of investing our life into other people's life and watch these miracles unfold for ourselves and for our family. Now I've got one more to finish it up here today. We've talked about philosophy, we've talked about attitude, we've talked about disciplines. Now let's talk about lifestyle. Lifestyle. The ultimate challenge of life is to take your results and jot this word down: fashion. Fashion for yourself a good life. Fashion for yourself a good life. Like weaving a tapestry. A good life does not happen by accident. My teacher, when I was 25 years old, gave me two phrases, and I want to give you those two phrases as I wrap it up here today. And these phrases helped to change my life. Here's the first one. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. He gave me a little simple formula to consider. A wealth formula. The first 6 years of my life, I wound up broke. First 6 years of my economic life, I wound up broke. Second 6 years of my economic life, I wound up rich. He gave me a whole new economic philosophy. I studied it. I practiced it. I became wealthy. But here was the second phrase he gave me. If you wish to be happy, study and practice the art of happy living. Up until then, I had no concept that happiness was a study. My best hope for happiness at age 25 was just to go around with my fingers crossed, hoping something would make me happy. And he said, no, happiness is something you fashion. Happiness is an art. It's not an accident, it's an art. And so I'm asking you to study and practice the art of living a happy life. And start with your family. If you want a happy evening, you have to design it. It's not going to happen by accident. If you want a happy weekend, you've got to design it. You've got to fashion it. You've got to weave it like a tapestry with your own hands, your own ideas. Don't leave an evening to the winds. Don't leave a child's birthday to the winds. Don't leave a weekend that's important just to the winds. Let the winds blow. Fashion the day. Fashion the weekend. Fashion the evening. Engage in this kind of happy living called lifestyle. For your family. Another part of it is culture. You got to go to the plays. You got to see the movies. You got to go listen to the orchestra, the symphony. You got to let these things affect you. Enjoy that part of your life. Fashion it and enjoy it. Take an hour, take a couple of hours, take an evening, and go soak up the symphony, soak up the music. And when you do this, with family, with culture, lifestyle, here's what happens. Number one, you can enjoy it. It's a spendable commodity. But here's the most exciting part of all. The feelings you get from here, the coin, the currency, the worth and the value you get from fashioning a happy life, fashioning a conversation with a child, fashioning a love experience. A good marriage is not a marriage that's left to the wind. It must be well woven. A friendship must be well constructed. A cultured life must be well woven, well constructed. A love affair must be well woven. I'm telling you, all of these values that come from lifestyle, and nobody can engage in the art of lifestyle better than Herbalife distributors, Mark Hughes being one of the best. And even from the simplest of lives. Better to live in a tent on the beach and be in love than to live in a mansion by yourself. But now here's the last part. And this is the most exciting. Not only can a well-fashioned lifestyle experience be enjoyed, here's the powerful part. It can be invested. It can be invested. Because here's what really happens. You take lifestyle, all those values, all the coin, all the currency of lifestyle, and you invest it, this feeling here helps you to now, drives you to do the better study. Why? This whole cycle keeps coming around. Philosophy, attitude, disciplines create lifestyle. Lifestyle inspires you to go back, develop an even better philosophy, stronger attitude, more detailed disciplines. All of that helps you to produce lifestyle. And if you fashion this well, love affair, marriage, culture, evening, weekend, all of this good stuff now, that inspires you now to read, study and grow, develop your philosophy, strengthen your attitude, pick up the disciplines. This whole cycle, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it once you understand how to live this way. 2 weekends ago, we were at Mark's home, those who were invited. I don't know what he paid for it. I think at least $20 million for a house. In a house. No, it's really not a house. It's a mansion. The second mansion built in Beverly Hills, a famous old mansion, constructed and owned by Douglas Fairbanks, famous movie actor of the past, overlooking Beverly Hills and Los Angeles, where Mark sits now, up on top of the world. And guess what all of that is for? Mark has fashioned well his lifestyle to, number one, enjoy. But guess what else he does with it? He invests it. As he soaks up the history of this mansion he lives in, as he contemplates his lifestyle for himself and Alexander, Suzanne, all of us, our future Herbalife distributors, I'm telling you, when he walks out of that home and goes to his office on the 13th floor, he brings with him all of these well-fashioned feelings and invests it in a stronger Herbalife philosophy, an attitude that'll stand the test of time, and disciplines that I watch as miracles beyond measure, helping Herbalife to unfold into a multi-billion-dollar business. I'm asking you to do the same thing. Fashion your lifestyle so well that you can invest it, and then watch the future unfold for you like it does for Mark Hughes. So, I think enough from me today. I want to thank you for giving me the most awesome opportunity anybody could ever ask for. A chance at this level. And you know, there's not millions of people that get to sit at this level. And as you walk away from here today, of course, one of these days you're going to be able to sit in Mark Hughes' home. You'll be invited to one of those awesome occasions at the top of the world, and you'll be able to see, as you fashioned your lifestyle and let it be something you enjoy and then something you invest, you're going to be able to see one of the greatest examples of all time. But someday, when you get the ultimate invitation, as some of these right down here in front of me well understand, to someday walk through the doors of that incredible mansion that Mark Hughes has designed for himself and his family and for all of us to enjoy that are invited there, you'll begin to see the ultimate of lifestyle and how it can be enjoyed plus invested in the future. And let people have a taste, let people have a sense of what they can do with their lives if they start from scratch, grandmother by grandmother, person by person, customer by customer, distributor by distributor, community by community, country by country. If you'll pick up that cause, pick up that excitement, and let all of that's happening in Herbalife, let it affect all of your life. Don't let it just affect your health. Let it not just affect your business, but let it affect your life. Let it affect your heart. Let it affect your soul. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting here. I don't need the fortune. I've already got a fortune. I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But guess what I do need? A chance to associate with Mark Hughes and all of you and let your life contribute to mine, to give me that rare opportunity that only a few people out of the billions in the world that have a chance at this level that you and I have to enjoy each other, learn from each other, contribute to each other, so that we can live the most extraordinary lives that anyone has had the opportunity to live in the last 6,500 years. And for me to be a part of it at this level and let my life blend in with yours and see how much we can get from that in terms of miracle, work with Mark, make his dream come true, be a part of it. I'm just glad you let me come by and invest my life into yours. Thank you very much. God bless everybody.